Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to my stream and welcome to my channel. If you are new here or a subscriber, remember you're on with Jules, and whenever you are on my channel, you are one of my treasures. I actually had started this stream on a different app, but I think with YouTube stream, I may be able to do a little more with it. Um, so basically, I had set up this chat last week. I had some of my subscribers in here, and we were talking about the new topics to talk about. As you can see, my screen name is Jules Treasures. Like I said, I'm Jules, and I consider all my viewers treasures. Um, and my name of the channel, I call it Area 51. As you can tell, it does rhyme with Area 51. Actually, the number 51's been very significant in my lifetime. I actually had an office which was nicknamed Area 51. I worked in pharmaceutical research, and that's a very long story. But as I was talking with my subscribers last week, we were, talking about new topics. I know we had come up with cosplay, and we were talking about, different costumes that we would do. Um, at this time, I don't own specific costumes, but there are several that I want to buy. I will try to add pictures maybe in the chat box of different uh, ones I would buy, um, and maybe even uh, buy the props for it, and just to you know in case, because I do want to go to Comic Con one of these years. I grew up in San Diego, and I've never gone, and I know it's the biggest one in the U.S., so I think it would be cool. I do have a cousin, and she makes costumes for people and herself, and she'll go every day at Comic Con and make very, very accurate costumes. In fact, I've already asked her to try to make, see if how much she would charge me to make specific ones. Um, so for today, I was thinking with the live stream coming up, I was thinking, what could I do to get close to something that that are out there. So I started looking in my wardrobe, and then kind of started thinking of different characters that have similar things as to my wardrobe. And something that I've been wanting to try. And I thought, Harley Quinn seems like she seems like a character that it's a matter of having a wig, maybe a t-shirt and shorts, or very skimpy shorts, or even dresses. And so I went onto a website that took me. I went on there, and I saw that there people do variants of different costumes that she's done, or they do their own variant, and it's amazing how people do it. Um, so I saw one variant where she was in a black latex dress. I saw another one in a gold latex dress. So it kind of gave me an idea. Harley Quinn always dresses in red and black. Um, or I know she has worn a black and gold dress in the original Suicide Squad movie. And there's a lot of different costumes she wears through, comic books and different things. And a lot of them have to do with red and black. So when I was looking in my closet, I had this red latex dress. So I said, I'm going to try to see if I can get close to any look. Um, Now, I know when I was looking through there, there were many looks to her hair. I know the typical one we're used to is the from the movie Suicide Squad. She wears the pigtails, and then one's blue and the other one's pink. So when I looked in my closet, I have several wigs, but none of them had just blue and pink. I just went and I have this one. It's a unicorn wig. It's in rainbow colors, and I had seen some people that um, went with rainbow, but very dark rainbow ones. So I said I'm going to use this. I did do the pigtails to it. Not um, the this one over here. I think needs a little fine tuning, but um, it was the first time doing pigtails to one of my wigs, and um, so it was just kind of, I wanted to set the theme for the video. It's not like I wanted to do a perfect costume, but just wanted to set the theme. I was, having some fun. Coming on my channel is about having fun. We talk about the 5Ts, which is transition, triathlon, trends, training, and tips. So, this was just about, trying to, find what I could in my closet and go with something like that. Now, there were, there's more to the look you can do. You can make, I know Harley Quinn in movies, and she tends to be a lot more pale because she is like almost like, and she has the one costume that's like a jester, and they always show her very pale. Um, so you would probably want to do some white makeup, and she usually has red lips. I did see some with black. I almost did black lipstick, but I decided not to. So I just, went with what I had. I know I saw somewhere she does wear a necklace with like a little pendant. I know a lot of them she has like a choker. Uh, the choker she wears are a lot bigger, and will sometimes say things on it. So this is the closest I could get to Harley. It's not perfect, to say the least, but she would be one of my choices. Let's see if um, I can get a picture of one I saw online that really. Uh, okay, I was trying to see if I could, uh, enter pics here. This is sharing a screen. Um, I'm trying to navigate here and see if I can add anything into here. Mm, So yeah, I guess there's no way I can add uh you know a pic. Let me see something. Uh, so what I've got here is a picture in picture mode. So let me get out of that. Okay, it's like I said, I was trying to see if I can uh, put a picture, insert a picture into uh, in here to show, um, you know, some of the things I had picked in for um, as my top 10. Let's see. No, I'm just clicking on stuff, and next thing you know, I'll end up clicking off the stream. So there were 10 um, different costumes that I did pick that I would do. Um, so when I was going through them, I know I'm a big Star Wars junkie. Mhm. So I kind of open up my files here. Um, and I can look in there real quick. Um, so a lot of mine were Star Wars. Some can be very expensive because um, they they have to be. Uh, some of them are armor, and if you want them to be done right, either if you make it yourself. When it comes to like Star Wars armor, whether it's Stormtrooper armor, Mandalorian armor, or anything like that, to make sure um, that it's properly done. Uh, it has to be actually, you can get it certified by the 501st. They're an organization that uh, makes Stormtrooper armor. They call themselves the 501st Legion, and um, after something in Star Wars, and they uh, do very good work on their costumes, and they're well known for certifying them if you make one. And so there's several Star Wars ones. I do have some DC, and I think one or two Marvel. I think it might just be one. So let's start off with Marvel, because there's not that many Marvel ones that I picked. So I know for sure, as far as Marvel, I picked Black Widow. Um, Black Widow is Scarlett Johansson's character. Um, Her costume wouldn't be very difficult to make because she's always just in like it would just be like get some black latex pants and a latex top. You can get uh, you know a belt with a holster on it, um, and pretty much go from there. You may look at some pictures and see some of the gear that she carries, but um, it would not be a difficult one. Just and she does have no usually red hair, so you would just have to get it. And then some of them she had it long, others she had it short. So it would just be a matter of choosing which look you wanted. I think in some of them she even had blonde, and um, she um, you know, so I do have, a blonde wig, so I could probably do that. Um, and so that would be one of my choices from Marvel if I wanted to do Marvel, cosplay. Let me see if I have anything more on my list from Marvel. Mm. Actually, looking through my list, Black Widow would be my only Marvel choice. Um, so now let's continue with comics. Um, so the next thing I would do would obviously the other comic brand that we look at is DC. Now with DC, I guess there's a lot that I would do. Um, one of the ones I'm sorry. So when it comes to DC, there are several characters I would think of. Um, a lot of them land in the Arrow universe. I'm big into Green Arrow. I am into archery. So I remember the first time I started watching the Arrow TV show. Um, it it was kind of strange. That I don't know. There's something about the show that I couldn't. And what it was is I started it at like season three. If um, what one has to do is if they want to if one wants to watch Arrow, and you know, one has to watch it from the very beginning to understand the show. Because if you don't watch from the very beginning, it'll become very, very confusing. Because you have to, it jumps back and forth, be, between the time on the island and you know the present, which is him back after being rescued from the island. So one has to know that. So if you start watching it in the middle, like somewhere around season three, you're not going to get the show. So the best thing is to make sure that you watch from the very beginning. So the Arrowverse was circled around several shows. There were like spin-offs. So it started with Arrow, and then Flash came from the Arrow. Um, And then you had Legends of Tomorrow. I know Batgirl kind of spun off from there, or Batwoman, I'm sorry. And then you had uh, Supergirl. Um, you had, several shows that were all kind. You had Black Lightning was another one, and they were all like, stemmed from the Arrow TV show. So it was called the Arrowverse. Even after it ended, and then even though the Flash was the main show at that time, it was still the Arrowverse as it was known. So with the Arrowverse, one of the things, one of the costumes that I would do would be, and this would be from the Flash TV show, would be Killer Frost. Uh, Killer Frost always demanded my attention, as she's kind of Alice. You'll get the answer to that as we go along. I'm doing 10 of the costumes I would do, and those, and I picked those because they're my favorite characters. Um, so Killer Frost, I thought was a good character in Flash. Um, at first it's it's Caitlin. She's the scientist in the group. She's a doc, and they're at the laboratory, and she, but powers manifest in a lot of them slowly, as you know, the big since a lot of them have been hit from waves from the, the lightning strike that got Barry his powers, you know, so slowly some of them started manifesting their powers, and hers slowly did. She became Killer Frost. Now, one thing I like about Killer Frost um, are her different costumes. There's one with where she's in a long dress and has like a snowflake in the middle. Um, there's another one where she's like in a purple jacket and has uh, like a, basically like a halter top, like a silver halter top, and then has, you know, obviously every in all of them she has white hair or gray, to symbolize the, you know, the ice. And one of the things I love that she does, and I know I have some, is purple lipstick. Especially when she does the purple jacket, she does the purple lipstick. And if I would have had a purple jacket and a top, I could have probably pulled it off because I have purple lipstick in my makeup drawer. So it'd probably just be a few things that I'd have to add and put together. I could have Killer Frost and probably in a purple jacket, and you know, and whatever color top she wears. I would probably go with that one. Um, so, you know, I think that she was a very good character. She was, when she was, you know, her doppelganger was, I think it was Caitlin. Um, she was a very, very smart woman, and you know, slowly Killer Frost was taking over a little more. I thought that was pretty cool. But um, so I'm gonna go on to the next character that I would do from DC. Let's see what I have as far as DC. Um, let's see. Mm, So let's see. Kill Frost. So another one I would do from DC would be the Black Canary. Black Canary, I think that would be a pretty simple outfit to do. There's many ways you can look do the Black Canary. Um, I've seen the animated series of DC's, like basically where they have the Green Arrow in it and they have Black Canary, and in there she's wearing more like a bodysuit type, you know, latex bodysuit, more in like fishnet stockings. In the show, she was more in like black latex pants or black latex top. And obviously, she had her device to make her loud scream. And there were actually, by the end of the show, there were actually had been what, like three, four different Black Canaries variants. It started off with Sarah, the younger sister. Then it went up to the older sister, and then another one came along, and so which was Dina, and it was, you know, Sarah went on to go on to Legends of Tomorrow, as I believe with a White Canary. So I think that would be another good female costume. Uh, wouldn't be expensive to put together, and there's so many variations of it. Uh, I I don't know which one I would do. Um, I think doing the one that's a bodysuit in, you know, in black latex would be cool. You know, with some fishnet stockings. Yet I don't know. You know, as far as when, you know, you went to, I think at Comic Con it would be acceptable, but you know, if you were going to a party or something, I don't know how. nowadays you got to do everything so politically correct that, or make sure that it's not too, where people would get offended with it, um, not too greasy. So you'd have to watch out where you wore that one. But I think that would be a good one. Then another one, and like I said, all my DC ones come out of the Arrowverse, um, would be a Mia Smoke. Mia Smoke was the daughter of Oliver Queen and Felicity Smoke, which was his kind of like his secretary at one time, slash, uh, you know, she was also known as Overwatch. As Overwatch, she basically was in the basement of the club after, yeah, because they bought the club, and that's where they did their headquarters to Team Arrow. And she was the computer genius, could hack into anything, um, and she ended up becoming Oliver's wife. They and when you get to the like season 8 episodes, um, they have like a crossover and where they jump into the future, and sure enough, they had a daughter named Mia. Now Mia actually took on a lot of her father's characteristics, and she became the Green Arrow. I think that would be cool. I'm into archery. As you can see, I have a nice Green Arrow well, I have this arrow is actually from here down. That's what my arrows look like when I go for my bow. Now, this is actually from the Arrow TV show. So I kind of combined them to, form one thing. And so I would do Mia Smoke, symbolic of, you know, she became the next Green Arrow. I know they're going for a season 9, so I'm wondering if she will be the Green Arrow on it. I know they tried doing the Green Arrow and Birds of Prey, or the Black Canaries, and they did one spinoff about that. I don't know if they'll go with that, um, but I also know that um, they want to bring back Oliver Queen. So I don't know how it would all be interconnected. I know it'll be hard because it would be something more in the future, as she was just born towards when the TV show ended. It was a very complex show. Um, so yeah, that would be Miss Smoke would be another one in the DC universe. Um, so those are so far what I have. So like I said, Marvel Universe, I would do. Hello, welcome to the stream. You're on with Jules. Remember, when you are on here, you are one of my treasures. We are talking cosplay and what you would do for um, cosplay if you were to, or if you already do it, what would you wear and what character would you portray? It can be comic book related, it can be, TV shows, and, or anime. Many people are into anime, um, so now, like I said, I've done Marvel and I've done uh, DC. Like I said, Marvel, I would do Black Widow. Um, DC, I would do uh, either, what was it I had? I had the Black Canary, I had Mia Smoke, and Killer Frost. Those would be my choices. Um, any of you that, want to jump in and give your choices. So like I said, I picked my top 10. There's probably lots more costumes I would want to do. So now I'm going to jump into Star Wars costumes that I really want. to get. I know one of my subscribers and I were saying that we want to go to Comic Con one of these years. So I think that would be cool. And like I said, I grew up in San Diego. I never went. I know some of my friends were really into it, and like I said, I have a cousin that makes costumes for people for Comic Con. So that's really cool. I know it's coming up next month. Um, so next ones I would do would have to be with Star Wars, and yes, I'm such a Star Wars geek that 6 out of 10 costumes that I've picked would be um, would be Star Wars. Um, and so one of my first ones for Star Wars, I did pick 2 Mandalorian ones. I picked one Stormtrooper, and uh, and then I picked several others. So let's start with one. I'm going to start from the prequels. Um, I would do. Um, I would go with Padme Amidala. Now, the Padme costume I would get would be the one in the arena sequence where she's just all in white, and I would probably do it after because there her blouse was all the way, it was white pants, white blouse, but I would do it after it gets torn by the monster that was trying to, or the beast that was trying to get her, and it scratched her back and it ripped off part of her top, so it would be like a halter top. I think that would be a cool one to do. It'd be very, you know, and I'd have um, I have one of my subs here that for some reason she can't. Actually, Ellis, I know there's 4 people in here. I just don't know who they are. Nobody's put any comments in yet. So I know you are, and anybody else, feel free to jump into the chat. Talk about your cosplay costumes if you have any, or anything that you would want to do. Um, so, like I said, I was on Padme. I thought Padme, like her daughter, which ended up being Leia, was a very uh, big. It was a good character in Star Wars because you see that there are women that are very smart. They, uh, you know, they basically, can think tactfully and, come up with game plans, uh, and are very good leaders. Um, even this morning, I was watching an interview with George Lucas, and that's what he said, because he said that it seems like a lot of Star Wars nowadays is trying to be politically correct, and that they always said, you don't have women as enough women in the movie, and yeah, that I like to see that. It's nice, but I think he had put plenty of them in it, and a lot of women that are in power and very tactful, um, that you know really really show their smarts. Um, so, like I said, Padme Amidala would be one of my choices. So if we continue to move in trilogy order, I really don't have anyone else from the first trilogy. My next one would be Jyn Erso. Now, Jyn Erso uh, was in Rogue One. She was pretty much the one of the heroes of the movie. Her and David Luna's character, and Andor, were the main characters. Now, I think I think when I did my choices of top Star Wars movies, I liked Rogue One. Rogue One was probably my number 2 on my favorites because when it comes to standalone movies, I think it is the best. Star Wars standalones is Rogue One. It just showed the sacrifice uh, rebels would do to uh, bring peace to the galaxy. So I really, really loved that movie. So I think I would do Jyn Erso. She was very brave and did what her father asked her to do to get these plans for the Republic, so they could destroy the Death Star. And she went as far as she could. Her and Pandora went and did and fought until the very end. Um, and like in his character, he said like, we have, you know, we're not good people, but we want to, right our wrongs. I saw that, Alice. You want a Wonder Woman costume? Um, and then if I went through the main trilogy, I don't think I really picked much from the main trilogy, which was the original episodes 4, 5, and 6. Um, I'm just looking at my list here. Um, so, um, so then we're gonna jump into between trilogies again. When you go between the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy, mainly you have TV shows, you have series. Um, one series being The Mandalorian, another one being the Ahsoka series. Um, so from The Mandalorian, I think I picked, um, and the Ahsoka one, I picked characters. Um, so when you look at The Mandalorian, uh, one it would this would be armor. So this would probably be expensive because some Star Wars armor can get expensive if you're buying from someone that's a very good builder of it. And like I said, usually with Star Wars armor um, costumes, especially if it has to do with uh, some like Imperial, you have to it has to say that you can get approved by the 501st Legion, and they're like an organization that makes stormtrooper armor, and they will, certify it to say that it's, you know, adequate and that it matches, uh, armor from the movie. Um, so when we go through The Mandalorian, one of the characters I would pick is Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan, she was a Mandalorian. She, if you look way back into the Star Wars universe, she was a member of what they call the Death Watch. So Death Watch was uh, some rogue Mandalorians, um, and then she defected from them, and eventually, they were helping, uh, after the Imperial forces were killed and everything, she, kind of started trying to make her own faction on Mandalore. On Mandalore, a lot of them had to leave. So they, in the Mandalorian, they were mainly like acquiring stuff is my nice way to say it, but stealing a lot of stuff to make ends meet. Um, and you know, they were actually, I believe it was weapons, and then they were selling them off. Um, so Bo-Katan has very, very cool Mandalorian armor. Mandalorian armor is made of very, very strong metal, and to take a hit, and they tend to do attachments to it. The there's one lady that's in armor, and and she, uh, slowly as you gather some of this metal, you take it to her, and she'll, build up your armor. As like some of them get jetpacks and many different things. All of them have, different symbols painted on them because, it has to do with how much bravery they've shown, or symbolic of how, they've been in wars. So Bo-Katan ended up actually getting two different symbols on her because of different, different, uh, things that she showed as far as like bravery and stuff. Um, so, and her armor had been in her family for a very long time, uh, and it was uh, very, very. It was very nice the way it's painted, and everything. I like it. The design on the helmet is very nice. Now, Mandalorians are never supposed to take off their helmets. Like like her uh, group of Mandalorians would. So they would kind of, not be doing what they call the way. So yeah, Bo-Katan would be one set of Star Wars armor I would definitely get. Um, so to continue looking at my list here, um, the next we would jump to. Thanks, F+. Um, so um, and yes, Alice, you can, whenever you look them up, you can look up a wig like this, like a unicorn wig, unicorn rainbow wig. Now, some of them will have like a horn here, like a unicorn. I looked for one that didn't. Um, so the next character is from the Ahsoka series, and once again, it is Mandalorian. She was also a member of the Death Watch, and actually, I think she had also gone to the Imperial Academy. Now, her Mandalorian armor, she was a person that liked to tag or graffiti, if you want to call it, a lot. So, and it looked like she would like to airbrush. So she would take, I mean, steal like Imperial Stormtrooper armor that was old, and just like tag it up, and just, make it different colors for the protagonists of the show when they were younger, back in Star Wars Rebels. She made her friend some Stormtrooper armor in very cool colors. It wasn't just the white and black. So her Mandalorian armor is in several different colors. It's like got like orange and purple, and like some checkerboard um, on the upper arm. I mean, she's just got some cool designs on it. And that's why I like that armor. The character's name is Sabine Wren, spelled Wren. Sabine does some great artwork. So I think that would be some cool Mandalorian armor, and it would be cool to have. Um, so she was a little on the wild side, and like, you know she was. I think she felt good into the role as a rebel because she would be a little rebellious in her times. So, and then we get to the very last one, which is out of the sequel trilogy. Uh, and I know I mentioned this in my last week's video, but I really um, wanted to keep this one for last because it's definitely one I want to get. Um, it's I started looking at pricing for it. And I started looking at pricing for it, and this is actually stormtrooper armor, and it can go upwards up to like $2,000 or even more. Um, but it's a specific stormtrooper. I thought the character was not portrayed well. Um, it was a very good character. I think that could have been grown, into a big role. Yet it it wasn't developed well enough, and they made her not look as good, as tough as she could have been. Um, and This character's Captain Phasma. Captain Phasma's armor was great. It's not the typical white and black stormtrooper armor. Um, it was, it was made out of the metal that was made. It was Amidala's spaceship, or it was actually the Emperor's spaceship. Not the Emperor's, but at that time, Senator Palpatine's spaceship that wasn't working right, and she took some of the metal and made her own stormtrooper armor out of it, and it looks fantastic. It's chrome, and it's unbelievable. I think it looks great, and it was an underuse of a character. Actually, I think a waste of a character. What they did to her, and like, I mean, when you first see her come out in The Force Awakens, she looks, really, really fantastic. You see this silver or chrome stormtrooper coming out, and the character. At that point, you look at her and you just, oh wow, what a character. It's like it's a whole new captain that is being developed, and you figure she's going to be this tough, tough, leader, and probably very tactical. Or and then when it comes to the final battle sequence in that movie, they just made her look like nothing. I thought it was a waste of a character. But I would get some Captain Phasma armor. That would be my number one choice for as far as character armor. Uh, uh, that would be my top choice for any cosplay that I would do. Like I said, I do have some choices of um, you know as far as um, like I'm saying, it would be some choices like from Marvel. I only have one choice, which would be Black Widow, and then we had three from DC. Was Killer Frost, Mia Smoke, uh, in Green Arrow costume, and Black Canary, and then we had six Star Wars ones, being Padme in the white uh, uh, costume from the arena fight sequence. It would be Jyn Erso from um, Rogue One. And we jump all the way forward to, um, let's see, we went to this even before the sequel trilogy, and I said Bo-Katan. And then we had, uh, then after that, it was Sabine Wren's armor. And Bo-Katan would be obviously her Mandalorian armor, and then Captain Phasma. So those are my choices. I think I could probably come up with 100 choices if I wanted to, but those have been my uh, the ones I've been looking at. Um, right now, I'm gonna uh, and I did throw another DC one would be Harley Quinn. Like I said, she's very easy to do. There, when I looked up here, um, there was like 1.5 million ways to do it, and people did their own. With her, I think it's very flexible on what you can do. Like I said, people had latex dresses like what I'm wearing. They had a black one, a gold one. So I went with red, as she does a lot of red in her outfits. Um, just did my makeup to match. I think I was almost going to put two little like diamonds here, or at least one, to go with the Harley Quinn thing. And did the pigtails on my wig. And I did do some earrings. When I did look it up, she wears dangly earrings, but I don't have like cool uh, dangly earrings that would have gone with it. So I went with this. Um, and then, uh, so, you know, that's, pretty much my choices. Um, it's- so, if you come along and about and here onto my stream later on, and and watch it, please feel free to you know in comments down below, or wherever you should be able to, and give me your choices. You don't have to give me 10 like I did, put 2 or whatever, what cosplay costumes you would do. This was a my like I usually have a couple of people in here, and I know they were both had things to do today, so it's okay. But I hope to have more people start joining in on the streams. Maybe I'll do another one later on. I'll probably change outfits because this was mainly done the for the stream, and so. Uh, Move on from there. And um, so please, if you are watching this and you like what you see, I am doing some more videos. I've come up with some pretty good topics. One of my big topics that I'm going to do a series of videos on is about high demand religions. So if you, or also you can also call them a cult. So if you are a member of a religion that you feel is high demand, and feel like you want to join in on a conversation about high demand religions, I do have another streaming app that will link to YouTube, and we could talk about it like in a panel uh, type form, and we can do a series on high demand religions, and and we can and talk, and talk about your experience, whatever you feel comfortable talking about. uh, you know you don't need to tell us everything. We're just here so we can all talk about our experiences. It can be from any high demand religion, or what you may feel is a cult. I will also do a series on characteristics of one. Now, I know there's some experts out there that have already done characteristics of the faith I belong to, and it's been very eye-opening because I found out so much more about it, and some of the other things that I had noticed from the very beginning. But it's amazing how much mm, uh, control there is. So I'm going to follow what we call the bite model. I'll do a 4-part series on the bite model, and um, and you'll be able to see that many faiths will program you, and I'll talk about that. I've already talked a lot about it in my first live stream that I did. It was just me and my friend Lena on there, but she couldn't believe that how programmed certain things I was saying and um, were. So it's important to watch out for these things. So we'll, I'll be discussing about this a lot. There are at least 5 people out there that do talk about this topic and are experts on it. I just want to talk my experience. Maybe someday I can meet these experts, but right now I'm going through my process of resigning from the church. So it probably won't take much. Um, so I thank you to everybody that watches this video. Please feel to hit a like, subscribe down below, um, y- you know, and leave a comment. I don't mind. And you know, feel free to join us on further, uh, you know, live streams or watch my videos. Always just leave a like if you are new. Just remember, anybody that's a subscriber to the channel or new, you are one of the treasures on Jules Treasures. Um, and I thank you for joining me and have a good day.